Boy, I tell you, after hearing that song, that was a song, before I even get into my talk, that was a song that I played over and over and over again when Steve was in the hospital 20 some years ago after a stroke. And I was traveling back and forth to see him, and just being in the arms of the angel, finding comfort, that was so meaningful to me. So I'm glad I'm not a blubbering idiot right now after that song, because it meant so much to me. But anyway, thank you. Thank you, Anna, for singing all those beautiful songs today. So I'm taking a deep breath after this because it brought up a lot of emotions. So I have a question for all of you here today. Have you ever really thought you understood a concept or an idea, and then a new phrase or a new word came into your mind or heart, and this concept became clearer and clearer, and it went deeper and deeper within you? Well, that has happened to me over the years. And just recently, not too long ago, Reverend Dr. Missy Higginbotham was a speaker at one of the ANTA New Thought Thought Leader Thursday programs. And I really was listening to her intently. And again, she reminded me, which I knew, but in different words, the truth about who I am and about my place in this beautiful universe and all its dimensions, and we are all spiritual beings, first and foremost, in a human body. And that whole phrase, I've heard we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but somehow the new wording of this went deeper within me. We are spiritual beings first, living in a human body. So I realize I am part spirit, part body, and my body is the front part of a massive cosmic spirit. I am connected to this massive spirit presence. This whole concept I read from Mary Reed's book, Humanity's Epic Awakening. I want to say it again. I am part body, part spirit, and I am connected to this massive spirit presence. And I love to think of that because I think about the Science of Mind textbook, and in the back it has the V, right? And the consciousness of God is the big part of the V, and then all of God that God is, and all the consciousness, subconscious, comes right back into me and into you. So Raymond Charles Barker said, the intangible, which is what we can't see or feel, becomes the tangible by means of you. God becomes visible and tangible by means of you. The world of many persons, the world of many things is created that the central unity may understand, enjoy, express, and appreciate its own I amness, its own beingness. And here's another word and phrase that was different for me. Central unity. We could call that God's spirit, but another way of looking at it is this central unity of all there is enjoying itself through you, enjoying and expressing through you, through me, through all of us, and appreciates itself by being you and me and everything in this world in all dimensions. How many of you remember the TV show Star Trek? Probably, if you're around my age anyway. And do you remember when Captain Kirk said, space, the final frontier, So they would go out into space because they wanted to meet something new. They wanted to meet new people, new cultures, new ways of living, new planets. And it was exciting to find something new out there and to learn about it. Well, I also think that the idea of consciousness although I don't think it's the final frontier, I think it is a frontier that we are really, really grasping and learning about right here and right now. And we've been doing this for a number of years, but I think there's even more to understand. Consciousness, and Anto would say consciousness is the sole authority. All there is, my mentor teacher used to say, consciousness is all there is. And I totally agree with her. And I believe that it is all there is. And we are here to develop our consciousness and our own frontier. We can't see it. We can't feel it, but we know it's there. And it's in me and it's in everyone. So our consciousness is in this beautiful universal field of God, central unity, whatever which way you wish to call it. You could call it the quantum field. You could the energy field, the mind of God, the law of God, the field of potentiality or universal vibration. It's all one and the same. Whatever you call it, hears your thoughts, it hears your voice, it hears your song, that wonderful consciousness of the field. Heard all these beautiful songs we heard today by Anna. And it reads your writings. In fact, not only does it read your writing, whatever you write down, it is writing through you because you are the outlet of this universal spirit, universal God, universal energy field. And that to me really kind of, for me, means the oneness of all. We are all in this one field. We can't be out of it ever. We're always in it. You are God. I am God. We are God here together. When we do our science of mind treatments, we always start with what God is. God is. And we say our omnipresent spirit, omniscient spirit, omniscient, loving, kind, compassion, intelligent, wise. And then we unite with this central unity, right? This wonderful God being, this spiritual presence. We unite with it because we know all that God is inherent in us as well. And that is our oneness and our unity. We are it too. And I believe that God, and I love to say, God is love. Now I heard love a lot today in our service. And to me, that is what God is, love. We can define God in 1,000 different ways, but ultimately, in my mind, God is love. And if God is love, then I am love too. And I think about this as I am the mighty I am. God. I am the mighty I am. Love. So we can put ourselves into that place. It does not take away from God, from anybody else, because we're all the mighty I am. We're all that power and presence of God, because all that God is, we are. So I think of it as I am God having an Abigail experience, right? Or I can say I am love having an Abigail experience. I'm looking at, I see Reverend Bill, I said, he can say, I am God having a Bill experience, or I am love having a Bill experience. You can all say that. In fact, why don't you do that in your way right now? Just kind of say with me, then put your name at the appropriate time. Say, I am God, say with me, I am God having your name, experience. Now let's say I am God, or I am love, say I am love, having put your name there, experience. So you are God, you are love, having this experience today. For God as love is in all and as all, always has been, always will be. Another quote from Reverend Missy, she said, "The universe organizes itself around the singularity, which is each of us. We are the singularity in this huge mind of God. And this expands, our singularity expands into the universal circle. It has to. How do we expand? We expand through our consciousness. Our consciousness, what we're thinking about and bringing about, is expanding into this universal circle. It's just like the drop of water in the ocean. The ocean cannot be the ocean without all the drops of water in it. And so our God, our Creator, are that central unity of all there is, like the ocean, cannot be without all of us in it, all of God's creation, whether it's a person, an animal, a leaf on a tree, a beautiful flower. God cannot be unless we're all here. The drops of water can't be the ocean unless we have all the drops. So that's our oneness. That is how we are not only one with God, we're one with each other. We really need to feel that power and presence of God within us and within each person. There's no other. There is just the same. There's this consciousness that merges and is around, through, and all people everywhere. And I want to say this is a merging. Our consciousness really does merge with everyone around us on a daily basis, as a matter of fact. You know, Molly Bass in the Science of Mind magazine says, if you place two living heart cells from different people in a petri dish, they will in time find and maintain a third and common beat. That's how close we are. And I know that when you're living with somebody you love, you kind of, Steve and I do this all the time. We kind of know what each other is thinking. We say the same words at the same time. We come into the room together and we start saying the same sentence, like, I think we should. Oh, yeah. You kind of merge with each other. We merge with each other's consciousness. So we're continually affecting each other all the time. And we know this because when we go to the store, we're with a lot of people, we're standing in line, or if we go into a bank, we're in line. When we go into, a clothing store or any place, we're always merging with people. And sometimes when we stand next to somebody, we're like, I feel really good. Not sure why. And sometimes we stand behind or in front or next to somebody who say, I'm not feeling so comfortable here. And I'm thinking that consciousness that person has, that you're merging with, you're feeling what that person is feeling. We can never be outside of anything. We're always merging together in consciousness. We are influenced by the consciousness of the person in front of us, behind us, to either side of us. And so it's like a shadow. We can never get away from our consciousness. So we really need to think about what we're thinking about to keep our consciousness high. So as we merge, that we've become that person that people like to stand next to, right? So I wanted to share with you a story. Years ago, I was just learning this whole idea. I was just entering the new thought. And I just was experimenting. My mentor teacher, Dr. Winnell Evans, said, just experiment with prayer treatment and all this. So I was at an airport years ago, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try something. I'm not ever going to do this again because I think in a way it's malpractice, but I didn't know that at the time. So I'm in this airport, right? And I saw this man sitting down, and I said, I have an itch. So I was saying, I have an itch, but I was looking directly at this gentleman. I have an itch. I have an itch. I have an itch. I have an itch. Just to see if my words and thoughts would go out and affect somebody. And sure enough, the man starts scratching his neck. Well, it was a wake-up call for me because I would never do that again, because I realized how important what I'm thinking and feeling is and how it affects other people. So I knew that I am part of this wonderful, beautiful field. And I just have to be very careful of the thoughts I think and the words I speak, because basically, I really want to be a beacon of love. I don't want to be somebody that's going to tell somebody to do something and have them do it unconsciously. If our consciousness are merging, we're picking up other people's consciousness as well as we're giving our own consciousness out. So we need to be careful every time we step into a store, a bank, a clothing store, anything, that we are into that conscious state of love. And so I was thinking, I am love entering this store. I was doing this a few months ago. I am love entering the store. I am love entering the bank. I am love entering the cleaners. Wherever I went, I started to say those words. And you know what? I started to feel really good as I walked in. And it just seemed like my whole experience in this, wherever store or place I was really sweet, very lovely. And the lines weren't long and people were friendly. And it's just like, I am love entering. So my consciousness was one of love. So and we have to remember that. And love is also a protector. When we're into the stores, I am love entering. So my consciousness is filled with love for everybody here. But I also like to say I am love going out, but love only comes back to me. So love becomes this beautiful shield and barrier so that we are not merging with unwanted consciousness. We are continually in this bubble and shield of love and light. So love becomes not only going forth from us, but it can come back to us because we make that choice in consciousness to do. So one day I was just filled with this idea of I am love. I am love in this world. I am just love. And I went out for my morning walk. And so I was in this consciousness state of love, and I was looking at the trees and the leaves and hearing the birds. I just loved all of it, right? And I walked down the street, and my friend, Jan, a neighbor of ours, was walking out, and she stopped me. And she said, Abigail, can you stop for a minute? I'd really like to pray with you. She knew that I was a minister, and she was very concerned about her daughter-in-law. Her daughter-in-law was about to go through a mastectomy, and so we prayed together. And we saw the truth, we saw the light, we saw the healing. And I don't know what, I don't know what religion she is, but she's of some Christian denomination. So she understood the way I was praying. And so we just stood there and prayed. And I just loved her. I just thought she was a sweet lady and how much she was concerned about her daughter-in-law. And so I was about ready to leave and say goodbye. And then I noticed there was a sign on her lawn. And the sign was a sign called a Trump sign. And I said, oh, and my first thought was, oh, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I won't vote for him. He's not my candidate of choice. And sometimes the idea of things that he's done has bothered me and irritated me. But I was in a state of consciousness of love. And the sign didn't bother me. He didn't bother me. I was just happy to be there with Jan and to pray with her. So I was just feeling completely loved and in love with everything. And so I continued walking, and I thought, I am just love walking. I am love walking down the street. And funny thing is, all the dog walkers kept coming up to me to say hi, and the dogs wanted to be petted. And so I gave all the dogs that I met a little love, and they didn't even want to leave. And I thought, I'm just in that state of love. And it felt so joyous that I thought, I want to be here all the time, as much as I can. That was it was fun. It was fun to feel that. So that whole idea of I am love entering this place. I am love walking. I am love talking. I am love healing. If we get into the consciousness of always saying, I am love, whatever it is we're doing. I am love creating this lesson today. I am love being on this wonderful service today. So later, a few weeks later, I was out walking again in this state after meditation, saw Jan, and the good news is her daughter-in-law had the surgery. She's cancer-free, and the whole family is just filled with joy and happiness. And I was filled with joy and happiness. And I just hugged her and I loved her and I continued walking. And I thought, I am really love expanding. I'm not just love walking or entering. I am love expanding. So as I continued on my walk, I expanded my love for everyone on earth. I expanded my love for the politicians. I expanded my love for all the places of conflict in the world. And I blessed and loved the Ukraine. I blessed and loved Russia. I blessed and loved Palestine. I blessed and loved Israel and any place of conflict on earth. I just visioned and visualized this beautiful healing light of love, the angel light of love, surrounding the earth and being love and changing the consciousness of people to love. And I'm walking along thinking, I remember that Rumi verse. Many of you have probably heard it. Rumi says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Well, my friend Jan and I met in that field of love, that field of friendship, out beyond our houses, out beyond our properties, out beyond our politics. We met in that field of love and compassion and joy and happiness. And she has a Trump sign on her lawn. I have a Harris sign on my lawn. We met beyond that. And I really feel like today in our own lives and society's lives that we need to meet beyond the political realms or anything, any arguments or differences. We need to meet in that field beyond that, where love is the true reign, the true power, the true consciousness of God. We need to love, be compassionate, and be kind to one another. Meet in that field of kindness, meet in that field of love. Can you do that? Can you meet in that field of love beyond any hurts, arguments, family, friends, politics? But can you meet in that field of love and hold into your heart that joy, that love and compassion brings not only to you, but you are merging that love as you move in through your day out to people wherever you meet. You are giving that love and changing the lives of everyone. So if you can do that, say, yes, I can. Say that in your own way. Yes, I can. So to conclude, I want to say, be the I am love entering wherever you go, whatever you do, and be the I am love expanding beyond all politics, all fights, all hurts. Be that love expanding beyond that. Be in that loving consciousness for yourself and for others, and be in that field that Rumi said. And I will meet you there. So it is. Amen.